Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. How would you like to learn how to make more gold in New World Aeternum than you can ever possibly spend? I've used this method to money cap on 3 different characters on this account. We're going to be focusing on Hawks Gaming, which is my most recent one on the server Aquarius. First, let me show you the goods, because everyone can say they have a whole pile of money, and every single time I ever watch a how to make gold video, they barely have any gold, and it's kind of embarrassing. So currently I'm sitting at 650k on my character, and in order for me not to money cap, I had to throw 500k into the guild treasury, so I'm sitting at a little over $1 million right now. I'm going to show you multiple ways that I made money, but this is going to be the biggest way right here, and I made at least 500,000 gold doing this, and it's just super duper easy. It's almost ridiculous. You come over to your refining over here. Refining is the ultimate way to make money. You turn the lower tier mats into the highest tier mats you possibly can, and then you sell them. You do that over and over. All right, now that's only part of the equation, because you need to wait for a certain time, and this is going to happen multiple times a day. Now you want to make sure that you have that extra 10% refining bonus, and this matters quite a bit, especially if you don't have the actual clothes to do the refining with. Now, I do have all the specific clothing you're going to need to refine basically everything. So I have all of these sets of clothing, and that really does help. Now, the reason why it's so good is because every single time you refine up to the next level, you're basically creating stuff out of thin air, and that stuff is worth a bunch of money. Especially when you get all the way down and you're refining these runewood planks here. Now, with my clothes, I get 20%, and the plus 10%, 30% is massive, because each one of these boards are selling for over 15 gold each. And of course, you can do that with absolutely everything. I don't have a lot on me right now, but we'll just refine some stuff, and I'm going to create a whole bunch of free star metal ingots here, and that's a bunch of free money. Now, it goes without saying that you can do this method at any level, but obviously if you just plow through the main story quest and get to level 65 as soon as you can, the higher level that you are, the easier it is to do the things. So here we are at my bank right now, and I do have 2 other towns that I buy stuff in, and I actually buy all the stuff into those towns and let the banks be overweight, just so my main crafting town here in Wizward, that bank isn't overweight, because that's totally drama. Now, I have a whole bunch of materials all stocked up and ready to go in both of these banks here, ready to do the refining process to create a whole bunch of these really high-end materials for absolutely free, because all that bonus materials is just extra profits. All right, so how did I get massive quantities of those items? Now, some of those I did farm, but a lot of those I did put in buy orders for. So we're going to start with greenwood here, just as an example. All right, so you can pay 7 gold. It is psycho. I wouldn't recommend it, because that's pretty much really bad and cutting into your profits. What you want to do is you want to put in buy orders. Now, buy orders aren't for everybody, but I do recommend that you let your gold work for you while you're out actually playing the game to buy these materials so you can do the refining process later. So if it was me, I would probably put buy orders in right now, because I don't feel like waiting a full day for these other ones to go at 3. I'll probably put them in at 4, and I'd probably buy about 6 stacks of them. Like, anytime you let your gold sit in your bank when you're not disgustingly rich like I am, you're actually hurting the amount of gold you can make. So have that gold work for you, especially buying those materials to do the refining process. All right, so early on when you're farming, you kind of want to have a plan. Now, right now, I'm here mostly for wood, but these wolves also drop a crap load of rawhide, so you want to murk those as well. So when I'm out in the world and I'm actually farming a specific thing, now our main goal here is to farm just greenwood and aged wood. That is the main goal. Now, our secondary goal is to get weirwood as well as silk threads. All that stuff is in this location. Now, if you have lumberjacking equipment, it's going to help you greatly, because a lot of this stuff we're going to be getting as a secondary element off these trees here, we're going to actually use to craft items. And that is another way I make a whole pile of money as well, like crafting tools and things like that. Now, my main focus on making money is just making things that the majority of players are going to need. And that's going to be tools. It's going to be stuff like trophies. Everybody needs that stuff. Like, if you're going to play this game seriously, you're going to have, like, every single freaking trophy. You're going to have all the best tools eventually. You're going to have to buy every single tool going through all the levels, like steel, star metal, Orichalcum, well, you can kind of skip the orichalcum. A lot of people don't because I make a lot of money selling those tools, and all that stuff is free as well. All right, now I said the main focus was to get the actual green wood and aged wood, but first I'm going to clear out the spawns of all the other secondary materials that we're actually here for. So we'll get those out. I'm going to get them before anybody else is because it's almost prime time and everyone and their freaking mom is on right now. Now this is another reason why I say plow through the main story quest, because if you're a low level character, I mean sure you can do this, but where you can do the stuff at is going to be very limited. So get as high a level as you possibly can, most definitely. Alright, so here's the last patch of the silkweed, and we've got all the silkweed up. I have a whole bunch of fibers stashed up. Now our main goal is just to farm up the green wood and the aged wood, and I'm going to do that right here where all the daggone weird wood spawns. Now you can see me switching between loadouts. When I'm out there harvesting, I'm using my harvesting set, and when I'm logging, I'm sitting here with my logging set, and that just helps me get extra materials that I need, like that petrified wood. And we can use that cloth as well when we get the bonus cloth to actually make bags later. Although I don't do a lot of bags because you have to freaking farm runes and that takes forever and ain't nobody got time for that. Alright, now I generally spend about an hour doing this and getting all the weird wood, silk threads, and killing those wolves to farm up all those materials. I'd spend about an hour doing that. So that example I just showed just a second ago, I don't generally do that anymore because I'm so rich. I just let my money work for me and just buy the materials while I'm out playing the game. But if you're at that stage where you're trying to make money, definitely supplement buying what you can and farming the rest, because it actually cuts down the bottom line of your total cost and it helps you make more profit. Alright, so when you are doing that refining, like I said, in Weaver's Fen, there is the fort. Make sure whenever you do large-scale refining or refining of any type that you wait for your actual faction to control that fort right there. Now, it just switched over to Syndicate, so they're going to probably have it for about an hour. Now, the other fort you want to look for, and this is going to go into the money-making method number 2 here, is making sure that your faction controls this fort here, because you'll get a +5 crafting bonus to anything that you craft. And that's going to be in Morningdale. And right now, our People faction actually owns it. So, yeah, you get a +5 whenever we craft anything. All right, the next method that I made most of my money from is going to be engineering as well as furnishing. And that can be done at the workshop here. Now, this goes along with the philosophy of supplying the stuff that everybody needs. Everybody needs tools. Everybody needs trophies. Now, I have sold thousands of these steel tools here. I'm not even kidding, and every single one that I made was totally free. Now, how can you do that? Well, it's quite simple, my dear Watson. I do have a stash of these materials here. So when you're farming iron out there, iron deposits will drop void metal, and if you have a mining set, it'll drop void metal a whole bunch. So farm iron for the void metal. That makes the steel tools. Now, star metal, their rare drop is the azurite chunk, and of course, if you have mining set, then it's going to drop azurite chunks a whole bunch, and you'll get a bunch of those for free. The next thing you're going to need is the leather. The rage hide here drops from low-level boars and wolves like crazy, especially if you have skinning gear. And shadow fur you can get like from every single drop if you kill armadillos, so you can get like billions of these. And these come from higher level wolves that are under level 50. I get a whole bunch of these too when I'm out farming for rabbits. This petrified wood and the whisper wood. The petrified wood is a rare drop from the green wood as well as the aged wood, and you're going to get so much of this you generally throw it on the ground, but make sure you have a big stash of it because you're making these tools for free, so yeah, it's a bunch of free money. Might as well keep them. And whisper wood, of course, you can get from the weird wood. Alright, now that you know how to get your free stash of all those materials, you're going to come over here to the bench, and you don't really need to have the clothes. Of course, I have the clothes, the earring, I have food, and all that kind of stuff. You just make the tools the best that you can, but I'm here to tell you that gear score determines your price, and I generally sell these for $399 each, and they blow out the door. Even at this point in freaking December, people are still creating new accounts, and they're needing steel tools. Now, the main reason why you want to use these refined woods, petrified wood, or the whisper wood, is it's going to add +5 to your gear score. So if you just have the regular stupid wood in there, your gear score is going to be 5 lower, so you don't want to do that. Alright, once you plug in all the rare materials that you're getting for free, doesn't matter if you use the blue or the green, the gear score is going to be the same, doesn't matter. Just make sure that you're not using the basic materials, because that does matter. And once you do it, you just craft it. You're going to need Azoth, and that's super easy to get, so that's not going to be a problem. And I generally create about 12 of these each. I'd create 12 axes, 12 picks, 12 knives, and 12 of the harvesting sickles. And then I'd put them all up, and they will all sell in one day. Now, star metal is relatively interesting, because if you get a good roll, and I generally don't put any of the crafting mods in there, I just totally randomly roll. But if you put the good stuff in there and you actually get a good tool, they can be worth over 1,000 still at this point. So I'll create something. What the heck? Create a couple of them. I'm just going to randomly do it. And I'm not even eating food, so that's actually bad because gear score is everything. Now, we'll just create some random axes here. I'll just make 3 of them. It's no big deal. So these are going to craft out at 545, and that is the max highest gear score that you can have on a star metal tool, unless you add something psycho like this kind of stuff, which is a total and complete waste of money. Just use your free materials that you're out there in the world getting anyway. Logging yield and efficiency is really, really good, and if we would have got luck on that, that would have been almost the perfect roll, actually. And I'll still post these up, and every single one of these are going to sell today. Absolutely, totally, and completely guaranteed. The next skill that you most definitely want to get up is furnishing. This one I've made a pile of money at as well. It's probably actually making me more money than the tools are at this point. It also follows the philosophy of, everybody needs trophies, so, everybody's pretty much going to buy these unless they know how to make them themselves. Now, when I first started, I mostly focused on all the gathering type trophies, like the skinning, the mining, the logging, the harvesting, stuff like that, because everybody needed it. Now, at this point, the majority of people are buying basics and majors exclusively, so you're not going to be selling these that as much as you would be, because, you're going to, but you're not going to make like 400 and 500 gold each like I was in the beginning. You'll be making probably about 200 gold, around in there, maybe up to 300 if you're lucky. The biggest thing about making money with furnishing is it's so good when you do chest runs, like a lot of chest runs in Brimstone Sands or chest runs in Great Cleave and things like that, and you're getting the trophy mats, because those trophies, when you make them in the majors, they are worth a whole pile of money. All right, now I'm going to use an example here. Now I'm going to focus mostly on the basic trophies first, because there's a lot of money being left on the table out there, guys, and it's almost disgusting. I feel bad for making this much money. First, we're going to start with the basic human combat trophy. This one is mine. That's up right now, 3,325. Now, when I'm on and I'm playing, I only post 1 trophy at a time. And when I go to sleep, I will post 2 trophies at a time, but I never post any more than that. All right, the thing that you need to make the actual basic human trophy is going to be the human digit. And they are super expensive right now. This just happened this morning. Somebody like me came in and bought everything up, and they were generally only going for 100 to 300 at the most. The buy orders are about right there. So, matter of fact, I'm gonna need some more human digits. Even though the buy order and the sell price right now is extremely different, like it's 3 times almost in difference in price, those human digits are going to be spammed. By today, they'll be back down to 300 in this section right here. So yeah, no big deal. But still, even if you did purchase a human digit and you crafted that 1 trophy, you're still making 3 to 1. Yesterday it was 20 to 1. So yeah. Now I just started playing about an hour ago and decided to throw this video together, but I only have some of my trophies up right now and 1 tool left. I made like 10 of these tools. This is a perfect roll, so yeah, definitely going to be selling that one. Should sell probably in the next day or so. But I only have my trophies up right now, and as you can see, I have quite a few of them up. All right, so I just checked trophy map prices, and it looks like somebody did what I do. Whenever the prices get a bit too low, you scarf them all up, so you have a whole bunch of trophy materials to make all those trophies with. So let's go into another way that I make money, and that's actually manipulating and controlling a certain item's economy. And right now, these basic mount victuals are way too low. I generally sell them for about 30 some each, so whenever I see somebody doing this, and I'm actually getting low on the mount victuals anyway, not that I need them, but since you can make a whole pile of money just buying out something that you know will sell for a higher price, when you have the dough, you let your dough work for you. Now we can set our new price, and we are going to be selling those for $34.95 each. Now you can do this with anything that the majority of people need. Just make sure if you're going to be doing an investment like I just did that you actually know that it's going to come through. And I already know all these basic mount vittles are going to sell at $34.95 relatively quickly instead of under $7 because that's dumb. Another really super duper good way to make money is going to be to become a freaking chef and cater to all those people that are super duper fat and need the stat food and the gathering food and all that. Become the chef that makes all that stuff for them. All right, so realistically, there's only 2 other ways that I make money besides, you know, every now and then I camp a boss for a drop, but that's kind of rare at this point. Now we're going to be doing these sandstone blocks over here. Could put my clothes on and refine these, but right now I don't have that plus 10 bonus, so I'm not going to be doing it. But realistically, you're just going to be turning these sandstone blocks into charged sand, and everyone and their mom needs that to make the rune glass, so that stuff sells like crazy. The next thing you're going to be doing is sulfur, which you're going to take these sulfur chunks and turn it into a whole bunch of just sulfur. Again, used in making rune glass. Stuff sells like crazy. But never ever convert this unless you have the plus 10 bonus to yield. Either one of those, because you're just leaving money on the table when you do that. Now, realistically, the only other thing I really do is do chest runs and camp bosses for drops. But like I said earlier, I rarely camp the bosses anymore. But I do enjoy doing the chest runs for the trophy map materials. So realistically, I probably at this point only play about 2 hours a day, sometimes about 45 minutes a day, just so I can do my daily, do my buy and sell orders, and then I log back in and made another 100 and some K. So hopefully this video helped, and if it did, please leave a like.